107.1 The Bull, Moose and Chandra in the morning. We have a very special guest in the booth with us, Brett Westgrove, Wausau native, Nashville up-and-comer. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. How you guys doing?
Oh, it's
wonderful.
So good to have you in here.
Chandra's giddy like a schoolgirl.
I'm
right
blushing
now.
and I didn't even say anything yet. Well, to you.
Well, let's start with us because you guys know each other.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm the outsider of this group.
Well,
so I'll
welcome.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
welcome to our story.
Let's start off a little bit. Chandra, how do you guys know each other?
Well, I know him from Hodag, the station I work for. We sponsored that event. It was one of our big events. And you started performing, and then each year just kept getting bigger, and concerts on the square Wausau would hold. And you had probably one of the biggest attendance crowds ever at concerts on the square.
Oh, let's go. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I didn't actually know that because I hadn't been to one because I'm always in Nashville.
Oh, okay.
But that's amazing.
Yeah. Well, you were the one that you were performing at.
Yeah.
Yes. Everyone loved you. You were there. That's when you're handing out the sugar honey iced tea.
Ooh, delicious.
We'll talk about that later. But so, Brett, what I love to tell people, besides that you're an amazing singer, and we're going to play your song coming up, but you have ties to NASA. You're like a very smart man.
Well, I always tell people I'm the dumbest smart person you'll ever know. Smart, yeah, maybe. I worked really hard to appear that way. But yeah, I did the NASA thing, commanding spacecraft, and wasn't quite right, so here we are.
Very cool.
So he pulled a complete 180 and said, you know what, I'm going to dabble in country music, which is fantastic, by the way. So tell me a little bit about kind of what your experience is like as an up-and-coming artist right now in Nashville. If the outside ear or someone that doesn't know what it's like in the industry, tell us a little bit about what it's like for you in this spot in your life right now.
It's really interesting. I'm having a great time, and things are really starting to pick up, but honestly, the biggest thing is being an independent artist and, on the rise still. It's a huge challenge because the music industry is huge. And especially since American Idol and The Voice and all this came up, a lot more people are empowered, which is great, empowered to do music, but it creates more of that noise.
Sure.
So there are thousands of me, and it's really hard to get people to see that, oh, wait, this guy's a little different, and he's doing something, he's on an upward trajectory, let's pay attention to him. So it's a big challenge, and along with that is just financially, it's more money goes into music than comes out right now.
Sure.
But I believe in what I'm doing. My whole team, everyone I got here with me today, and out there listening, they all believe as well. And so we're in a good place right now.
Yeah, I mean, we love you in Wisconsin. And have you ever thought about Idol or The Voice?
No, they reached out to me maybe sometime last year, I think, and I don't think that's me.
Okay.
I'm no issues with anyone who does it, but I don't think that's my place.
But I mean, mic drop. Yeah, they reached out to me. How amazing is that?
It is pretty cool.
I love it. That just gives you the kind of status that you are. You're coming up here, and we got to pay attention.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, so also you've got a bunch of touring stuff going on right now, and also a brand new single that just dropped.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. What's going on with that?
Yeah, Memory Burns Like Whiskey just came out. It's doing really well. It's just a cool, catchy song that I wrote about dealing with losing someone and not being able to shake their memory. And I was sitting in my kitchen and I was thinking about it, and I thought, man, every time this memory comes up, it burns. Like a shot of whiskey going down. And I had that thought, and I was like, wait, that's a hook. I sat down, and boom, in like 10 minutes, the song was done, which is not always.
Right.
Does not happen a lot. But that's also a bit of why I knew, because it was so deep, so raw, and so authentic that I think that I just knew it was going to be something that I had to put out. So,
do you write all of your own music?
I take part in writing all of it. This is my first solo write that I'm ever releasing.
Very cool, and we're going to play it soon.
Yeah, amazing. So yeah, I do. I take part in writing all of my music currently.
Very cool.
So when you come back to Wisconsin this summer, I believe is what you said, where are you going to be playing, sir?
Oh man, we're all over the place. We're in, I think, Kaukauna in May, and then Porterfield Festival in June. We got Hodag in July, Riverfest and La Crosse in July, all over the place.
Huge,
Sure.
yeah.
I mean, that's just Wisconsin, so we're coming back to Wisconsin a lot, which I love.
That is so cool.
There's no place I would rather bring the tour to than home,
Oh, very cool. We're so excited that you're able to stop by and hang out with us for a little bit because we know you're going to be big someday.
We got one. I got to ask one question because we've talked a lot about it off air. Sugar honey iced tea.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think anybody needs an explanation other than Chandra of what
And
that
it's
acronym
funny.
stands
I've
for.
had sugar honey iced tea before, but I never put the abbreviations together.
That's hilarious.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about this?
Yeah, well, I have a song called Sugar Honey Iced Tea. It's off my first record. And so we had this song. It's an acronym. You can figure it out. But had this song, and I was playing a show. I think I was on a Josh Turner bill, and we were hanging out. And I was hanging out with. It was at a brewery, right? A big brewery in Tennessee, and I was just partying afterwards with the investors and the owners and all this. And I was like, "Yeah, man, they were commenting on the song, and I said, "Yeah, I've been wanting to make that into a an alcoholic drink, some kind of beverage."
Sure.
And they're like, we could do that for you. So anyway, fast forward, it's been about 2 years now. We've been putting in a ton of work, but it's about to come out. We've got cans are sitting in a warehouse ready to fill down in Tennessee, and we're going to be bringing it to a bunch of these festivals up here in Wisconsin this summer. And then hopefully around the same time, it's going to be going to bars and, who knows, gas stations, liquor stores, whatever.
Right.
So
he has Idol and Voice reaching out. He has a brewer's like, yeah, we'll make your drink for you. Okay, I guess one more question for me. Who's the biggest artist that you've played for so far or that you've met or you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, the biggest artist that I've played for. Gosh, my memory is so terrible.
I know you've mentioned Josh Turner a couple times.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
Josh
sure
Turner.
you're all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, we did Tyler Hubbard last year,
Okay.
a Hodag, and
yeah.
Eli Young Band. I did that one out in Colorado. That was awesome. Love those guys. Jeez, it wasn't an official thing, but I was on stage and playing some music with Luke Bryan down in
Nice.
Nashville, so that was really cool. I got some of that on my TikTok, and
That's cool.
so yeah, all over the place.
Good for
Building
you.
that list up every day, and then we've got some of my first headliners for me personally, but the goal is have my own tour. So
Sure.
Yes.
hopefully someday you can be asking that question to someone else and they'll mention my name.
Gosh, man, I remember when I opened for Brett Westgrove. It was so great. We're like, do you have some sugar honey iced tea?
Brett Westgrove, thank you so much for joining us, man. Really appreciate
Thank you
joining
for having
on.
me.
It's 107.1 The Bull. We'll be right back.